one today? No, just not yet. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, when you stop in, you'll see her, you'll see Brandy. I think we're good. I've just got a few things. Um, Computer, everything turned in from Jess. She's officially done with the board. I just made a decision. We're not going to fill this position due to the short time frame. If we did do something, it would be next month. It's only a 2-month frame, so let's have the public decide when that time comes around. And then just something again that I noticed. So Chief put a note out today about snowmobiling, about the ordinance. Of course, we get the snarky comments. I just invite any citizen to come to the meetings and discuss any issues you'd like to see us improve, things maybe we haven't thought about, instead of just making snarky comments. If you're not doing something to make something better, I just don't understand the good of it. So there was just 4 or 5 comments, and all we said was, "Don't drive your snowmobile on the road. It's against the ordinance. If you don't like the ordinance, come talk about it. We can discuss. Maybe something can be changed, but nothing helps. Just doing that kind of stuff." It's frustrating. Like I think the board and the employees of the city have done a good job. Like we talk about communication, right? It's a lot better. I know Terry's out everywhere talking to everybody. Ben the same way on his walks all the time. And I do believe that, we're willing to try and make everything better, right? If we're doing something that's not working, I don't think any of us have said, well, that's on the books, the hell with you. That's what we're doing. So, if you have a problem, I believe we're all approachable, we're all willing to listen, and just let's do things for good instead of just doing things to bother people. It's just, you look at the other side of the river and you see what's going on over there. I know that's a really extreme case of stuff, but we don't have problems like that, nothing in this town is unsolvable if we just, reach out and, we're willing to talk. So that's all I gotta say about that. Anyone have anything for me? All right.
You're doing a really good job.
But now I know you're sick. Old business number 9, we will skip. I know no one's here from Hidden Park. New business, discussion consideration of a 30-minute parking spot for Family Chiro Care and Glenwood Hardware. I believe this was on the agenda last month and has been put on again. So, is this for you, Sean?
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
So I don't have a huge issue with the parking other than Thursdays for the main park. And it seems like every single one of my spots gets filled up and probably 4 or so vehicles stay there till noon the next day. I'm assuming they're nursing a hangover and still taking those spots. I end up having to do a lot of 2-block walking with 50-pound bags on my shoulder, or the customer does if they don't want help. It just makes it difficult. I feel like Family Cairo and us should have at least one 30-minute spot on the main break.
And Fletcher's Kitchen too.
There's another.
And the dentist and the other chiropractor.
I think,
Well, if
I
the
think,
property has one stall.
I really think that we were here a couple months ago, and I think a 30-minute parking.
How many businesses are on Main Street?
Well, there would be us, Sunshine, then it goes to you, the professional building.
The insurance.
Insurance agent.
So that would be 5 spots.
So give or take, let's say there's 10 to 12
Mhm.
businesses on each side of the street, right? Okay, if everyone was to have a 30-minute parking, not saying everyone needs it, but if we did, what does that take us down to parking spots? Dave, how many spots are on Main Street? Is it 30?
There's 19 on your side.
So 38. So if we took away 10, now we're down to 28.
I'm sorry. No, there's less than that.
Okay.
In the winter, there's 19.
Okay, let's say there's 12 on each side. I don't know, whatever. Let's say it's 20. So we take 10 away. So now we're down to 14 spots. Is that, and I'm just asking questions, is that solving problems or is that causing more problems if we got less parking?
What if we did the first and last spot on both sides and one in the middle?
How are you gonna monitor that?
How are we gonna what?
Monitor that.
Well, it's gonna be like an honor system kind of thing. There wouldn't be any real monitoring other than whoever was waiting for a spot complaining about it.
Right.
People
Well,
park,
I
don't
would-
care.
I would hope that at least one of them would work. I mean, we have decent people in Glenwood City. you know, when Ross has had their parking spot out there, nobody parked there.
You put the sign out then.
I will, we
you
will.
know?
But we could have people park there.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, if we did, but then I would go say, can I have your keys and move your car?
Oh, you knew where they were at?
Because I think the cafe is probably the only spot in town that had worse parking than me. Is that about right? Or when you had the gas station? That's probably the worst place.
I mean, and I know we have this conversation about parking once, twice a year, I get it, and I understand the bowling, you're not the first person. You know, it's a Thursday days are bad, they just are, and, you know, I don't think we're erecting a parking garage anytime soon, so this is what we're faced with, but, you know, Dave, chief, policing it would be an issue. I mean, I'd like to think that people would be decent enough to do it, but we all know if you're saying there's 4 cars left over, you know, Thursday afternoon after drinking until the next day, you know, we're gonna have issues. I don't know what you do to police that.
Okay, take your vehicle off the street, put it in a city parking lot and that would be your 30-minute parking. You know,
Would it be beneficial to talk to, the owners over at Leakers? To
What is the street parking?
see if they?
I walked up there
Discuss it.
a couple of, maybe 6 weeks ago and
2 o'clock.
you out off and parked in right in the park. Yeah.
So maybe it's been up 2 o'clock.
So, and I don't know any of this, so forgive me if someone has already asked you about this. Do you, like, what do you do now? Like, let's say someone's gonna come and pick up lumber, whatever the hell they're getting. Do you just have them kind of pull in next to the building somewhere if there's an opening and load them up, or what do you do now?
That or just park illegally behind cars for like 2 minutes while we load them up quick and
Has that been an issue?
not yet.
Okay,
Is it gonna be an issue? You won't bother him if he's actively loading and unloading? Okay. How about you? You won't bother me either?
is that what you do?
That's what I do. When I pull up and there's no parking, I
Mhm.
just park on the street, unload, and just park somewhere else.
Mhm.
But if somebody wants to buy a dresser or something, I mean, yeah, we'll have to just
Block the
hopefully not
streets and help
scratch
load
the car and.
Is that what you do, the loading too? They just pull up and you just put it in there?
Mhm.
And have you been bothered? Anyone told you don't do that?
Not yet.
Okay,
Bob
Well,
did.
that doesn't happen.
Bob did. Boy, did he give me problems, but we don't have Bob anymore.
so is that okay for now until we could? I mean, I don't know really what else to do, but does that solve your problem? If you know you can just do it without,
Park, but I know there's people that just drive right on by
Yeah.
when they see that there's no parking.
well, I'm sure that happens at every bit, you know, not trying to be smart. I'm just saying, I'm sure that does happen, because yeah, there is no parking.
Mhm.
And I know you can talk to the bowling guys till they're blue in the face. They're still gonna park there. I mean, they're not gonna, 4 guys aren't gonna park behind leakers just because we ask them to. I know they're not going to,
Yeah.
that's just what they do. I'm open to anything as parking. I mean, it seems like twice a year we have this conversation. You know, we did the handicap spots to try and get a little bit of help for the elderly. I just don't know how many spots you take away before you create a problem the other way. And I'm not saying, I'm just asking the question.
I see it from both sides. It makes
Would,
sense.
could we do a customer parking on Second Street? Instead of Main Street by your side door?
We usually direct people down that way anyways.
But if we had a 30-minute park, I'm just throwing this out there too, because it's not on Main Street, so we're not. I mean, if I'm talking honestly, the one person that should have it is the chiropractor, and they're not even here. But people that go there are screwed up. They got bad backs, they can't walk, whatever. I get your pain because I've done it. I loaded thousands and thousands of pounds of meat out of it. To the parking lot.
I don't care about lifting and.
But
carrying
do you
stuff,
think
but-
if we, like, if the Congo Care had the 30-minute parking, and I'm just throwing this out because I don't think it's gonna get solved tonight. The Congo Care had a 30-minute parking, that would benefit you as well. I'm just saying, and if we could get you, and these are my thoughts, I don't know what anybody else thinks. If we could get you a 30-minute parking on Second Street by your side door,
Mhm.
that would not affect any of Main Street. Just my thoughts. I mean,
So would you put the Cairo Care one on Main Street?
I would, I cannot believe Lisa Kaiser and that chiropractic business has been there for over 40 years and they have not had a parking spot.
So if you would do that for them, would you recommend then doing it for the other chiropractor and for the dentist? Or not?
I don't know
Well,
how.
I'm just
busy
asking
that-
questions, Steve, because I want to be, yeah, I want to be,
I don't
Fair.
know how busy that chiropractor is in comparison to Lisa. And as far as the dentist goes, there always seems to be parking down there.
Okay.
And I could ask Rochelle,
Mhm.
but you know, then again, too, you do the 30-minute parking. Are they handicapped? So there's also, you know, so we've also given us spots for the handicap, which is good.
Mhm.
But nobody else is asking about it, I guess.
Correct. Yeah,
is my-
correct.
And Lisa did, I did talk to Sarah. Sarah, the daughter who's taken over that business. And she said it would be grand, but like I said, they're not here. But I think we could help you if we did it on Second Street by the side door.
I'm fine with that.
And there's no, just me, there's no stairs. And if the chiropractor really did want one, that would maybe help you. Cause you only get 30 minutes. That's all.
Well, so these spots are gonna be store specific.
I
30
have a
minute
question.
It would just say
or
customer
chiropractor.
parking and it wouldn't have to distinguish.
Well, just be 30-minute parking. It wouldn't even say customer, it'd say 30-minute parking. So
Yeah,
in theory, if I wanted to go to the bank, to the bowling alley, and to the doctor's office, I could technically, if I got it 30 minutes, pull in that spot.
Yeah.
You know, not using either of those businesses were intended for.
What helps the dentist office, they have parking back for the employees.
Yeah.
and on the side street right there.
Cars on Main Street.
Well, and the chiropractor does too. They got parking in the back of the building. That's why I say, now like Sean, he parks on the side of the building. Okay, instead of taking up that parking spot with his pickup on the side of the building, there's a city's parking lot right across the road. You know, why not park there? That way he's off the street, you know, and stuff like that. And that's one thing you were told when you came and wanted a parking spot.
I
too.
haul things in and out and I am handicapped as well.
Then park over, okay. I'm gonna go there.
So I like to park on the street because I'm always in and out, running to customer houses, fixing little things, propane, customer drop offs. It makes it convenient having a vehicle right next to the store.
So how many days a week do you think it's an issue for you?
Maybe two tops. Like I said in the beginning, it's not huge, but the days that it does happen, it is big on those days.
So Thursday for sure.
Mhm.
What's the other day?
Friday can be pretty swamped out there.
Okay. Does the side street work for you?
That's fine.
I-
Like I said about my truck being out there, is the constant in and out. Forklift, it's generally only out there in the winter time, because the alley's really beat up and so is that parking lot. That forklift gets stuck constantly. And then I got to stop what I'm doing, get a second body, chain, truck, yank it out. Otherwise, I would keep that forklift on my little concrete pad in the back. And that's just fine there.
And you do sell a lot of propane.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you're the few that actually fill them.
I looked at that today. We went through 4,500 gallons last year.
Yeah, so
Missy, did you have something to say?
I was just wondering what the problem would be if we did, like, some of the busier people, like, the people that come and go, like, a lot, what the problem is with the 30-minute parking,
What
other
do you
than,
mean by the busier people? I don't,
well, like, the.
because I wouldn't
like-
say your store is busy.
No, I'm saying like people that just like come and go, like the chiropractor.
Mhm.
Their clients aren't coming in and staying for 45 minutes to an hour or 3 hours.
Mhm.
So I don't understand what the problem would be to give them a spot.
Because
Or
I'm
the
gonna bet that, let's say on a Thursday for bowling, I'll guarantee you, once, twice a month, there's gonna be a bowling guy. He don't care, he's gonna pull in there and park, who's gonna know he's been there for 30 minutes or 2 hours?
Right, I mean, like I said, people in Glenwood should, I mean,
Well, I think most of them are, but you're always gonna have that person that's going,
Put hours on it? From.
from
7
such
to-
and such to so and so, I mean, that's what.
well, you guys can do whatever you like.
That's
I'm open to solving the problem, whatever that may be. if that's something you think, like, I think the side street for Sean, I think that fixes the problem. It doesn't really interfere with anything. I don't see a reason that we couldn't do that. That makes perfect sense.
That the police forces, vote not to harass our double parkers.
Well, and the thing too, now, if this is a big to-do and there's a certain day, we had ours in, did you guys, in the 5 gallon pail. It was sand and then it was concrete. And we pulled it out every day and we pulled it back at night.
Did you do that all the time? Even up till the end?
Wasn't it?
Every single day,
So what hours did you have yours out there for?
from 8 to, but Monday through Friday and Saturday on it. But we could actually move the sign. I don't know if that's something. Right, we gotta try to do something to accommodate, but I don't know. You're gonna show your favoritism? I mean, we just got our hand into last week about favoritism.
That's my issue. That was, I mean, that's my issue with the whole thing, right? Like, trying to make sure, because I don't, next month, I don't want two more people coming and saying, well, thank God, why can't, I want it to be done, and we have this conversation every year. And so I would like to figure out a solution, because obviously, it's not good for you guys coming and asking for it every year. And I'm sure we don't enjoy sitting here going, I'm sick of hearing about parking every year. So I would like a solution, but I don't know that we have enough spots on Main Street to start, you know, this guy gets one and this guy gets one, where side street, I don't see a problem with that. I think that's something, especially if you were gonna do it in and out like you guys did,
And I'm fine with the bucket.
I don't see a problem unless the
I'll pay
board,
for all of it.
you know, thinks different.
We're gonna go to Sweet Farm and get a concrete.
I'd be curious,
There.
where you can find old sign.
I'm gonna
I
do whatever
actually
you like.
have that.
Well, let's see how many parking lots.
That sign on it, so I do have a no parking sign.
Yep.
So then what is that?
Yes,
I have a question. I'm not sure if it really will affect much, but I'm new to it. So, joining the gym in town,
Mhm.
I know I've seen quite a few people there during the day too. And I hate to say it, but my workout is never just 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So that would kind of cut into people being there as well. Not
You
saying
look like
that,
you know, a lot of weight.
50 pounds surgery in
Mhm.
February. Thanks.
okay, next, by next, okay, by next meeting. I mean, if there's anything else you want, I think I'm bored with the thing on the side. I'm good with that. I don't know what these guys want to do about that. Missy, we get the parking spot next month. We'll try and figure this out once and for all, and then I don't know what to tell you, but we'll try. But for now, just keep doing what we're doing. The cops aren't gonna bother you, and
And I think if we, like I said, if we can get one for the chiropractor.
fire trap, well,
They in and out too, but she would also benefit for it. I know opening more hours now, or is that what you told me today?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be helpful too.
so we have.
Put up the 30-minute parking sign is up on Second Street,
I would second that.
Removable sign?
removable sign.
I would-
Okay, which, right next to the, oh,
That's what I was thinking. Unless it needs to be a different one, I'm not opposed to it.
I think that it's gonna be a movable one. I think we should. Do the advantage?
yeah, I do.
Okay, so what do you think?
Cause I hate to see it moving up and down the street. Put one spot, so.
Well,
everybody
have-
knows
Pick
that's
a,
30.
pick a spot and
Pick
have it
that spot
stationary there.
That's why I said, next to the handicap spot. Yeah, that's close to the front doors, you can get pretty much, and,
Or did you want it by the side?
I'm the handicap on the side door.
yeah, I guess that's what I meant.
Okay, okay,
that
now I
is
got
the-
ya.
That is the handicap spot.
All right, all in favor?
Are you not asking for it to be enforced, just that he puts it up?
At this point, he'll put it up. If that doesn't solve his problem, I guess he can come and tell us, no, I don't want you driving by and marking tires and wasting your time doing that. Yeah.
I'll do it. I ain't got nothing to do.
You gotta go work out.
All right,
That doesn't work out. I'll
All
walk
those in
out.
favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And one opposed? What, did you say opposed, Steve? Yeah, okay.
Subject gross was opposed.
All right, motion passes. Agenda item number 11, discussion of operator license for James Kern, Ryan Knoll, Nicole Goosen, and Susan Nutter. Chief,
I'll make a motion that we approve those.
do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Licenses are approved. Discussion consideration on certified survey map approval request by Scott Tigan for property located at 3281 County Trunk Highway G, parcel number 231-1072-10-000. Josh from Cedar Park.
Yeah, good evening. So we had this item at the plan commission earlier this evening. We went through the certified survey map. Basically, all the technical requirements are met, so there's not any concerns there. This is currently a 25.77 acre piece on the east side of the city off of County Highway G, next to Downing. The applicant is interested in carving off 5 acres. There's a number of other acreage or lots or parcels that he owns adjacent to that, about approximately 400 and some acres, both in and outside the city limits. And the reason why that's important is part of the request is to ask for a couple variances or exceptions to the certified survey map process. The first one is to not require utilities. Generally, subdivision ordinances generally require utilities if you're going to subdivide the land. Some communities or municipalities give exceptions for certified survey maps because they're smaller and some municipalities spell out when those utilities are required if they're within a certain distance or so on. The subdivision ordinance gives the council some discretion whether or not they're going to grant a variance for hardship or different things like that. So he's asking not to have to install utilities. One, there's no specified use for the property. Two, there's a distance from all the utilities that are available to that site. Originally, he was looking to sell the 5 acres to somebody else for a house. Now that's no longer on the table at this point, but he's still looking to subdivide the property to have a 5 acre piece and a 20.77 acre piece. The property is zoned NM, non-metallic mining. The allowable use, there would allow for a single family home because the A1 agricultural or the NM district allows the same uses as the A1 district, which allows a single family home as a permitted use, provided you have 3 acres of land. He's proposing 5. So the rest of the lot configuration and size is acceptable. The other exception is the lot consolidation. So the subdivision ordinance requires that if the property owner owns multiple properties next to each other, the certified survey map requires that to be included all as part of the same certified survey map. That's a lot when you look at there's over 400 acres adjacent to itself, plus some of it's inside the city and outside the city. So that adds some complexity to the certified survey map. And lastly, the last exception is the parkland dedication, because we're only talking about 5 acres here and there's not a specified use. The parkland dedication requirement spells out that if it's residential, I think you have to dedicate 10%. If there's commercial, it's 15%, and industrial, I think 20%, something like that. I have that listed in the packet. I just don't know it off the top of my head. Anyways, there's not a specified use here. It is non-metallic mining zoning, but it's not an industrial district or commercial district or residential. So we wouldn't know what the dedication would be. Additionally, there's no, you can do a fee in lieu of. So that's what's required if there's no dedication available. And there's no fee, and it points to the fee schedule that the city council has. The fee schedule does not list a parkland dedication fee. So one of the recommendations, if this gets approved, was have the council look to add a parkland dedication fee amount. Usually it's per unit or per lot or whatever, to the fee schedule. And so the other part of it is the parkland dedication fee, you can only dedicate a minimum of 2 acres. Well, he's proposing to subdivide 5 acres. Well, you can't, even at 25%, you don't get to 2 acres based on the lot size you're subdividing. So those are all the exceptions based on different hardships and challenges to require all those things. The other item that came up was the access. It's on County Highway G, so it's accessible. The county controls that. They did review this and say they said they wouldn't have a problem issuing an access permit provided that the site distance can be proved. They have to have a 500-foot site distance from the driveway, from cars on in either direction. With the caveat that if the Downing Street, the Third Street and Downing was to ever be developed, right now it's an adjacent right of way, but there's no street there. If that were to ever be developed, they would require access off of that instead of the county highway. So right now it's just a simple, one lot certified survey map, with no definite plans, or there's no rezoning proposed or anything like that. But with a few exceptions requested, and I'll read those to you. And they're outlined in your packet. But recommend approval with the following: no public improvements are required for the 5-acre lot, with the understanding that if in the future public utilities become available, the property would be required to connect. The one lot CSM is approved as shown without having to include all the parcels owned by the property owner. The property owner shall coordinate access with the county highway department, and no parkland dedication fee is required for this CSM. However, the council should consider amending the fee schedule to include a fee for parkland dedication. That's all.
Just have one question for you. Was there any second or third order effects that could negatively financially impact the city by approving this as presented?
None that I can think of.
I think so.
And it was recommended by the planning commission.
Yeah.
To approve this. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the tail of it.
Questions, comments? It's a mouthful. He gave us a word salad there, so
Yeah, I want to sum it up for me.
he can sum it up very quickly for you.
Yeah, basically we're gonna allow for this 5-lot CSM in the non-metallic mining district, off of County Highway G, with the exceptions not to have to put in the utilities, not to have to provide parkland dedication, and not to have to include all of the properties under one CSM.
And it allows, if we do this, it allows Scott to be able to sell his land if someone else comes around and wants to buy this 5-acre parcel. That's what it does.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just delaying if someone, because he had someone, they left, weren't interested, someone comes again, then he can just move forward with selling it. We won't have to go through this process. again.
Why do you have to go through this process?
It's part of the subdivision ordinance. That's a typical process for most municipalities that regulate subdivisions. There's a review process and an application process, and most communities have to go through the plan commission and then the council for final approval, because it does get recorded with the county.
So he just owns all this land and he just can't do what he wants with it? Because if he sold
Well,
5 acres, doesn't he get a general contract? Does the general contractor?
It's
If he's owned,
Yeah, even
it's not would get it zoned and sold, but then doesn't whoever buys it, aren't they in charge of?
they are, but the city controls how it can be subdivided, just because in the case, and let's say there are utilities involved, there may be some costs that do impact the city. There are some things that could have a financial impact to the city, because he's not proposing any development at this time. The utilities aren't accessible directly to this parcel.
So if someone actually bought that 5 acres, isn't it their problem to bring in a sewer mound? I'm the dumbest person I've ever heard of it.
Remember when we did the addition mature in up there,
Okay,
the same thing with that. Because there are certain costs to the cities for certain pieces of the street and the water and some of that stuff. The city had to put money out for some of that, but then that was all kind of back in it and tell what they can and can't do. A 5-acre lot isn't gonna do all that, of course. But if you divided it all up into several different houses and things, the city needs to have some say so on, okay, we need a playground equipment, we need some of this stuff, and the water and sewer has to be done right. Because the water goes back to the water system and stuff like that, so there's the way the money is spent, things. City needs to have some control over what's going on.
Yeah, this is just allowing him to sell it. Whoever would purchase it, then it would be another step for them to decide, we're gonna build this, whatever they're gonna do. This just allows them to sell this land without any more questions from us.
If somebody bought 5 acres just for themselves, they can put something out there and they don't have to get involved with the city at all, because they be doing their own water and sewer.
So that land is metallic mining.
It's zone not, and non-metallic mining, correct.
And why isn't it going back to residential?
I could, that would be an option if the applicant was interested in rezoning it. We've talked about it and that was not of interest at this time because if he could still do a single family residential under the non-metallic mining district.
And we just went through that same thing over here at the sale club.
Pretty much.
You know, they sold it and we had to come back and pretty much do it all over again.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, he could rezone it at a later date if there is of interest to. At this time. There's plans, I don't think, to develop the property, but he does, if the subdivision gets approved, he does have a 5 acre piece he could sell to somebody else. And they could develop a single family house. They would have to provide their own well and septic on site. But it wouldn't have to be rezoned to put a house on there according to your zoning code.
I'm so lost.
We're just letting the guy sell 5 acres of land.
I mean, it's
really all-
land, you want to sell it,
that's-
sell it.
That's really all we're doing.
Okay, well,
I mean, that's really the plan. It's just making it available. So if he'd like to sell it, he can sell it. Now he has, instead of a 25.7 acre lot, the 20.7 and a 5 acre lot. May sell it, may not, but he's got 2 different lots if you approve this. to go. That's basically what we're doing.
okay.
Okay? Do I have a motion to accept the recommendation from the planning commission?
I'll make that.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor, vote by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, recommendation approved. You have that all down, bro. All right, agenda item number 13, discussion consideration of storage container regulations. We have talked about this a number of times as well, at the planning commission earlier tonight. I let them know the city's feelings for the most part. We'd like some regulation. I use the example of, Justin Swenby wanted to just build a shed behind his house, had to go by all these regulations. In theory, he could have just put a storage container behind there, and we could have done real nothing about it. So I talked to Josh about it. He's gonna draw some language from the other towns because we've got to do something with the Hager property as well. We're gonna kind of tie that together.
Thanks, Mr. Tigan.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, you bet. Tie that together, so hopefully we can have one, it's gonna be a long meeting, I'm assuming. We'll get the planning commission to approve something with that, something about John's shed, so we can move forward with that, and kind of tie it all together. But he was gonna pull some information from other towns, see what they kind of do, but I think we need some regulation to separate a storage container from a garage. Right now, there is nothing on the books. We talked about it for a number of meetings, so unless anyone has any problem with that, we'll just bring that back to the next meeting once he actually has something on paper so we can look at it, because right now we're just speculating and talking instead of actually seeing something in front of us, so.
To that point, and what he's doing, is what we won't need to do. The city used to have an ordinance that stated truck bodies in particular couldn't be used for storage and different things like that. And that is, over the years, disappeared when they've done ordinance changes. But no, these storage containers aren't considered truck bodies. So I would like you to see, if I knew where that ordinance was or where we could find it, I'd love it because that was the perfect ordinance because I was involved in getting that one put together. Because we've had, about that kind of thing. So truck bodies and then all you have to do is change the wording to add the storage containers.
Yeah, there's some definition
Yep.
language that is missing probably that allows us to regulate these. So there's a few parts of the ordinance that this touches, so we'll have to clean up a few things, but we'll come back to address accessory structures and storage containers.
Because that was addressed back at that time because we had some people that were starting to use truck bodies as storage for sheds.
Not like that.
No,
Oh.
Oh. So my garage is burnt from the inside out.
Mhm.
It currently still stands. It's being held up by tow straps. So it started leaning 2 days into moving in. It has a concrete floor, but we're looking to possibly rebuild it and expand it a little bit. Would we need a permit to do that? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, we'd have to go through just to see if it met, right, like how big it can be, how close the neighbors, there's all that kind of stuff, and that's what our zoning administrator does. So they'd have to look at something and determine what, what you could or couldn't do and what
Would
what
we-
kind of permit, conditional use permit we have to issue. But yeah,
Would it be the same if we just rebuilt what's there?
We would still have to look at it just to confirm that, the size or that it's not, if it's non-conforming, if it's meeting the existing footprint. And then also the building inspector would have to look at it, just because it's a structure.
Oh,
because in theory, like, let's say you were gonna use the same platform.
Yep.
You could build it 7 stories high. And it would be again, so they didn't approve the plan.
sure. What used to be Kevin's property is like our properties like meet up.
Yep.
Your garage is on the property line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
Back
garage.
side and the other side. So if you tear it down, you're gonna have to move it. Setbacks.
Yeah.
You gotta be so far off the alleyway that's back there. You gotta be so far off the property line also.
Even with it being built way back whenever, with it having a platform,
You would have to get a variance from the city in order to put it back in its same footprint.
what's that?
An okay to say, yeah, you can build it back on the same footprint.
So it's not like grandfathered in,
No.
sort of
The,
thing.
the existing structure would be, had it maintained its integrity and not been destroyed, but once you remove it,
The concrete's there.
we'll talk offline. We're getting off.
Sorry.
I'll give you, we'll talk.
But yeah, if you have any questions, just come around to City Hall and we'll get you in touch with, yeah, there you go. That's what I was just gonna, good job. All right, agenda item number 14, enter into closed session for Wisconsin statute 19.851E, competitive or bargaining reasons deliberating of or negotiating for purchase of public properties, investment of public funds or conduct of others considered public business, whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. Potential sale of city properties and real estate negotiations, and per Wisconsin statute 19.851C, compensation and evaluation, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee subject to the jurisdiction or authority of governing body, discussion regarding employee wage benefit adjustments. Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll, please. I don't know.
I think it's still to talk to the building.
Thanks,
inspector. I
everybody.
don't care so much if you
Yeah.
repair it.
Right, we are
Once
in
you change the
closed
exterior of
session.
the structure, that's when I get. You can, yeah, we can all email.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
What are you doing here? Bear with me, they should have, like, if we haven't developed it, then do all this bullshit. All that bullshit, I just, they sell it and they check it out themselves, it's just bad.
Straight point down.
It is straight.
Okay, so Tracy, rebuilding the side. Single side, three siding.
Okay, what's there? I'm the yellow house behind down.
A while ago.
I said, no. Okay.
You know, come at me, I have something to tell them whenever
We
because.
have all kinds of comments up there. And the way you-
And I just need to know what's the issue, like say, this, kind of that. I just
They
need to
must
know
all
what we
have
should
to deal with that.
do to
and
rectify that. So
blah, blah, blah.
so if you could set something up and let me know, that would be great.
Sounds good.
17,000.
David requested a copy of, the application for an clerk.
Part of the water.
It's like 5:30 or something, 5:20, something up. He has that from the last time. It's the same app. We didn't take the application, so we just tell him that he has that.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Is everything over now or?
Yes, she is hired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
like the meeting.
We have a closed section. We'll come back in. If we do, we're gonna talk about raises, I believe, and if we do approve some, we'll come back in and say, yay, and that's it, we're done.
And then they added on water and stuff.
Your husband would wait,
Still a cheap lot for seven.
but we really aren't doing anything. It's not-
The road, the developer builds the road to the city specs.
Yeah, so we can sort of sit in the minutes.
It's my bag.
All right, we are back in open session. Do I have a motion to take the recommendation from closed session as it pertains to employee raises?
I'll make that motion.
Steve? Since this has to do with money, I have to call the roll, so Lee,
Yes.
DeGrosse.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Kraft.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Paxton. I don't know.
Yes.
I just lead. You guys.
Our fearless leader.
All right, do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Yes.
Who's the second? I know she said it, but don't know.
Oh my
All in
God.
favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your time.
Now you go up and slap your husband and say, why did you make me stay?
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, I already-